GG.
Not gonna lie, a lot of the time it comes down to Alpha just being a beast.
They run the double duelist, and Meteor starts to remind everyone
for
that
pistols
he
at the
was
moment, it's
a
3-1
prime
to Talon,
duelist,
and Talon
this time
want to go
it's all
aggro.
about the aim as he gets
And
supported by Buzz
T1 want to take middle,
him.
so this might get a little
it really
weird.
could really happen that way as T1 start things out on the attack, already fanning out a little bit across grass.
Oh, just full mid control. Buzz opening things off with a nice clean kill against
Demetria
Governor.
Pops is,
Draws out the
I mean, he's
fault
just
line
going to
as
send
well,
this,
so that's
right?
tons of delay used up, a lot of util taken out from Talon, and a lot of space
Ooh,
gained by pushing through
I
a
think,
short on that timing.
I'm not
Stacks with a
100%
nice
sure, but I
read.
think Stacks heard the
Silva
running.
himself,
So he called his team back to hit over towards A. They don't have the shield anymore, that's run out.
Primi is on the duelist now, though, so
And they're going to get 3 over towards site, and Primi has absolutely centered. Dude, the confidence on that, the think that there's no one behind him on short is insane.
But not quite able to deal with a double peek out with Jit Boys, and Primi now continuing to peek out. Another player down, and that's going to be just Izu left alive.
Hey, nicely done. I mean, Primi's gone for an absolute play, and it's really paid off.
A great choice, Primi. Going out to make sure he takes down the Silva, recognizes that there's nobody peeking him off of the drone.
Dude,
so it's a
4-1.
solo drone out. You hear footsteps coming from main,
4-1.
and then using their own smoke. Backup already there. 2 members filling the site. So even though they were down
What a
in actual
sense, dude.
numbers,
He's
they were able
absolutely
to
gone
get
for
ready.
it.
And a big part of
A
why
nice
they were
shot
able
as
to
well,
do
I'm
so
not gonna lie.
is because Ban's on the other side. He's already pushed out C main, and he says, guys, it has to be A. Keep your eyes on A. If it's not B, it's gonna be A. And they're ready for it. And there you go.
Oh,
you see
okay,
the
they're
energy
really
coming up from
fired
Cruz.
up.
He loves it. He got the read on that.
Yeah, just starting things out with this a really successful pistol round again, right? Still, though, T1 continuing to kind of walk their way through. There's a judge on the other end, but
The
still,
shield is incredible against the
He
judge.
takes down Jit Boy. Spen
Oh
coming back
boy,
in to try to
let's not get too
reaggress,
carried
but T1
away.
breaks it apart.
Yeah, we like to joke about the judge.
It's a
making everything
great
fair, but then
distraction
the
because they
shield
won't
comes
think
out
that
of the
he's on
gates,
site.
and Premi holding backside. It's going to
Nice
be a double
shots.
peek. He's still staying alive.
Okay,
at the backup.
great cleanup.
Once again,
Great
Cruz
cleanup.
is keeping his boy alive.
Cruz did really good
So
though.
much,
Cruz
so
making
many
sound
rounds. I mean, it's
here,
just 2 right
and the
now,
fast
but
rotate
Cruz
from Primi
really
just means that they
fired
just
up to
don't think
keep
he's on
Talon
site
in,
at all.
and also a little bit closer towards that Masters Bangkok ticket.
Yeah, we liked
T1,
it for
I mean,
Mio
they've
though.
managed to break
Obviously
things apart
against
a
the
little
judge,
bit
the
now,
judge
but
doesn't
still,
get too much
you gotta
against
think
the
about how the rounds
ISO.
can continue to play
Just
out
full
now that you've
tanks
seen some of the setups and some of the
full tanks
individual
the bullet.
potentials that Talon has.
It's a shame he went
Now,
for the
that's
reload.
something we'll have to keep an eye on, though, right? With the ISO, you can't just forcefully try to push through garage. You can't just rely on, you know, tricky setups with a judge or a
Go for
bucky
the old
in
school.
that part of the map if you're Talon.
Cage
So we'll
over
see how
the
they
top.
continue to keep that in mind. But now, a buy round coming in from T1.
With that buy round, making
Cage
a
over the
decision to go
top
in
with a recon,
pressuring
and then they
towards the A
TP
site,
into the
A long,
cage.
namely, so it forces Governor all the way towards the
Okay,
back.
in reaction
Such a
to
good read,
lose,
though.
I
This
say
is
in reaction,
where
honestly,
this
they just
ISO
wanted to do
Euro
this
is
from
very
the
strong.
get-go.
It is going to be a main control, and then you can start to rotate elsewhere.
But Cruz,
Exactly, he gets that read, he pushes
As
out
we can see
mid,
from
and
T1,
now you've already cut up the
they
map.
don't really
Backup
have a
already
backup.
arrived, somebody already in that smoke on
Like,
site. And
Cruz
now you're
being
just trapped
here,
in. You've still got Cypher
having
util
them locked
to watch
in
that C side as well.
that is
is
damn
kind of
quick.
incredible.
Well, they still do have the option to possibly rotate back around if they can take down Cruz, but they don't know that. So straight into the A site they go. Gate crash
There's
towards
a
the back.
lot of
Smoke's
people
already
here.
out.
What's
The
Jit Boys'
Governor is
flash
prepared.
like?
So counter recon goes out. The side
Jit
smoke
Boys?
inside of it as well. In with the
Jit Boys?
outlaw, but no shots found. Meteor able to slay them apart. Here comes the judge though, and Sylvan managing to take down Governor.
Jit Boys is a little too low. He's going to get spammed out no matter which way he
Bro,
peeks out. And
flash
Izu
for your team.
getting that kill on the flank as well. Very, very big for T1 as they are able to secure a quite safe buy round for themselves.
All right, just managing to kind of break apart the entire side. Of course, with Meteor leading the charge, he has that shield, and it's finding a lot of that value, but at the same time, just executing together. There's a lot of coordination in that,
he's in
where
charge
they
of
were
holding
able to
close
get
short, but he's got a
towards the back
teammate here, so
lines.
they should be double peeking short and then
Production has just notified
flashing
me
long.
that we may have another curse coming our way. Because
It's not
we
like it's a
have quite
bad
few
flash
players
from here.
getting
Like
near
you're
their
gonna
1000th
get
kill
you're
this
gonna get
kickoff,
people.
and
You're gonna
as
get
soon
the
as they get
jet
close,
dash.
they stop
Like,
getting
they don't
kills.
even have a jet dashing in.
Stacks
Because
is
it's gonna
7
work well.
away, and so far he has 0. So we'll see.
Yeah,
if
this
he's
is a little
able
bit weird.
to fill that
He could have even
mark
just
up
tucked in
here
and
at
Omen
BCG
flashed here.
Pacific during this match, but of course, more important is can you win this? Get one step closer to Masters Bangkok.
That's the grand prize.
That's like
right
the big
now.
bit of util once they hit site.
T1 already noting quite a bit of utility, so backing towards garage they go. Starting things off with the clone, so that's been noted. Now they're able to find that space back
Good luck to
towards
ban.
the site.
Man is spotted, but Jitboys is here for the backup as well. There comes the contingency. There's the paranoia as well. Stacks picks up a kill from long range. Now backside, you are cornered, Jitboys. Nowhere to go. They've got
it's two really convincing buy runs, and it's 2 rounds where there's been 3 on site, and the 3 are just getting melted. They got 1 over towards A. They got armor over towards C. That's it.
Now with this composition, right? Being able to take Garage this effectively, you know, you gotta love it. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast, and T1 is doing exactly just that right now. First of all, you take Garage, and then the way they push out a Garage with the contingency shield from Meteor allows them to swing around the back of the site.
The constant roll switches are hindering Talon.
Against logs, where they took down
Not massively.
Yeah, like it's just going to be a save coming
I'll give props to Primi. Like sometimes I don't think the agent suits his play style well, but it doesn't mean he's playing like
if it still goes for the default,
like
and then you flood in, even if
tail or the
by
deadlock band
loses that duel, you're still able to take that site.
And this is where T1 really gets to build up their bank, if you will.
Governor's always been a very good server, and he was
really
playing good on Raze.
So much value at the same time. Still, or even without those ultimates, they're able to find.
Like I get it, it's not traditional,
right
but
now. So you gotta imagine
it doesn't really look bad.
This time with their setups to find different ways.
I don't think anyone fills out of.
See,
you know what I mean? I don't think anyone like looks bad on their roll.
Coming in from T1. Eyes trained onto A once again.
Talon needs garage control. It's really hard to hold garage against this ISO comp.
It is a push out with something like the ultimate. They'll be ready for it. They'll be ready to crowd over. And Buzz just gonna start going through and clearing everything out with a very
full retake on this one. They go fast behind. So we got trip early, and then Yoru can TP out if he wants to.
Still holding on to those flashes, the blind sides at the same time, just for the
keep an eye on Meteor's ult. He doesn't have to use it. Does he help out his teammate? Because the double damage, he should be double damaging now. Yeah.
On the other side, holding the crossfire, holding a lot of these sight lines, but Izu's the first one that falls. Off to the next, the fault line comes through. Meteor tries to stay alive.
How Talon come out on top of this one?
Governor manages to break through the opening lines.
No way. That's Primi life.
Primi is buying so much space for Talon.
Yeah, and honestly, Ban could own this.
Sylvan holds a nice angle. Buzz swings off of it. Jitboy's good for
Ban, get involved.
2v2, but the weapon's just not
okay, this was close though. They gave themselves a pretty good try in the low buy here.
Hold on.
Yeah, really
I'm surprised they won this duel so much. 1-1-1.
Players down, they retrieve some of these rifles,
and they managed to kill
but that said, yes, still
2 for 1.
T1 having the positions, being able to flood and push all the way through past like defender
Primi
spawn,
did great there, by the way.
Where Talon would be approaching from just gives them a little bit more in this fight.
So they did have good backup for each other to really set up those rifles, but Sax just saying, oh, don't worry, you know, I got you, I got you.
Let me get to the out,
and
they're up against the ISO ult though. The ISO ult is deadly, man. And we've got to feel sorry for Governor here. He can't do too much.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of information already, but at the same time,
because as soon as he shoots that recon or whatever, he's just gonna get
ulted. So smoke's out, and people are starting to rotate on over to A.
They can do this because of that operator. You still have trips to make sure you delay on C, hold on to that back sight, and then you're watching mid with that operator. And now with no information,
and if this hits you, you're gonna get either Sova ulted or ISO ulted.
Just in case, fault line at the ready. That's one piece of delay.
There goes the ISO ult.
And there comes the ISO ultimate. It's a duel between Governor. Meanwhile, Buzz already clears out the site. Meteor wins that duel as well, and that is side wide open. But Jitboys tries to
we get the trade on this as well. Damn, we are.
The shadows. I love the attack.
I think the idea from Jitboys here is pretty cool. You got a Yoru, sorry, you can ISO that might be isolated.
But unfortunately, T1 was just so ready for it. You know, at the same time, Cruz was noting Buzz's gate crash, but somehow still with the flashes, Buzz was able to take down.
It's just been a little bit unlucky for Talon, really. Like they had that round early where they didn't flash. Then they got run over towards C, and now every other round has just been like ults.
The 3 players on the A side itself.
Like obviously they should have had a better go at the first 2 rounds that I'm mentioning, but
yeah, it's a neat idea. The from the shadows for the kill contract, but just one too many targets in sight. And Meteor, a great swivel around after Stacks gets taken down. So eventually,
Meteor on ISO, yeah.
Dude, I mean, members alive. The operator being
must be fun for him.
This should let them know that it's going to be carried over. That the operator was purchased in this round. and that it's going to be something they need to look out for, because they didn't run into it here on A main, but you didn't run into Cypher setups either. So you have to start thinking, okay, where was the operator posted this previous round, and now will it come to meet us in A main?
Okay, they saved the op.
Pushing so hard.
Yeah, without a doubt.
The op's probably going to try and get a pick on short because they're low money.
Around for T1 right now, or just trying to.
Oh, he tried to min-max it as well. We're out here min-maxing the ISO. He's waiting before the ISO ends, like the ISO ult ends, and then just before it ends, he's shooting it to get like an extra second and a half on the shield.
Closer towards the C site, thinking that we've, T1 has hit A so many rounds now. Maybe this time it's going to be C.
Shield maxing,
not quite yet. T1 starting things off slow.
Yeah, but I love this. They're trying to fish out for that operator, right? Because it was like, okay, it's not A, and C presumably might have been that Cypher. Meanwhile, it's going to be that Cypher set up on A, so
okay,
you
so they
do
think
have Primi
right now
out,
that the Cypher might be over towards
on the site. So it's a great call from Talon to say, if we don't see them pushing with util immediately, if we actually hear info elsewhere, Primi, you have to delete this entire side of the map.
It's been good from Primi though.
And now it's all up to that A site.
Early info over towards C means they can stack way heavier over towards A. Dude, they might get 3 people here with the trips and the camera. And in theory, G-Boys is in a position to use his flash, but
because of this little gap. Meanwhile, the rest of the T1 team just
get a
hold
little
up
bit
outside of A long.
from him not using it.
Like they're aware, okay, we left
he's
just
taken an insane amount of space. Like he's just going to call them back to go over towards C, yeah. Primi's about to get shot in the side, but he does have a bit of a sense that maybe something like this is happening. Oh, I like this. They go through garage because this is where he cleared because they're not sure about long. Yeah, and they smoke it off. Damn, bro. Oh, we dodged the breach. Huge, dude. Easy's played insane. But does Primi descend it? God, they got Lux on Lux. Nice kill. Keep an eye on the time. Oh my god, he's solo owns this round.
Primi, can he shut things down? Sees the shield.
Doesn't
want to greet it. Knows that it's a risk. Takes down the
he
shield.
broke the shield.
From long range.
Just got the plant.
Finds his targets, but doesn't have enough plays to opt out.
Wow, man.
Stays alive. 2v1. Dashes over. Trying to close the distance. Doesn't quite get it. 78. Ban. He's arrived just in time.
Oh,
he
God.
Needs to win this duel. There's a flash. It's full.
No way. I feel so sorry for Primi. He did so much.
Are you kidding me? What is this?
Primi did so much, dude.
Insane efforts from Primi.
No, I feel so bad for him. It was incredible.
It's Buzz who closes things out. Unbelievable. I mean, off towards the shorty, but Buzz was
it was
still
such
able
a
to
good
collect himself,
4K.
calm down his nerves enough to take down Primi, and then to send out that flash against the final player. You talked about the movements across the map, and T1 played that to perfection. So safe, so careful.
Oh my god, he's so
Izu
sick.
Dude,
his brain here is great as well.
Time, the final clutch moments where Primi was
it's a shame.
it up, but Buzz denies it.
He thought he'd be a little bit closer.
Man, you have to wonder if was there a way for Primi to try to stay alive, try to make that 2v1.
Did he overheat at the end?
Things, you know,
not really. It's like a 1v1.
Got a shorty in hand, and
he doesn't know about the HP, I guess. He could be a lot closer.
Can't quite land the shot.
Like,
and they weren't able to keep track of the
it's shorty or op kill.
Buzz. And amidst the chaos, it's going to be T1 that continues to lead 5-2.
Like if he's closer, he gets the kill.
Very different. Both sides tense, but a little bit more calmness on T1. Just gathering their breath, making sure that they can try to stay ahead. Meanwhile, we saw Jovi once again sharing everything on his mind, making sure that the Talon players on stage are ready and armed for the rest of this half.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't really want to go in on him. Dude, he made a round that shouldn't have even been close.
So of course, trying to cook something up of their own to cool T1 off, trying to continue controlling the map by swapping around their setups. It's going to be down to ban on towards the C side.
Okay, T1, a lot of A defaults, a lot of defaults towards garage. Timeout goes in, straight up C hit, but the ISO ult as well, so no one can play over towards site. In reaction to this, Talon push down middle. Been doing this a lot though. When there's an ISO ult, they're doing some kind of
play-wise, he's really there for the flashes. There's the fault line to try to buy time for that Huntress Fury, but it's not quite going to land. He tags onto Buzz, and you recognize it's Zero. Bad takes a lot of hits.
6 HP.
He'll survive for now with 6 HP.
Yeah, it's so good, and great post-plant positions being held by T1 right now as
Does
well.
Meteor decide to pull when he doesn't have shields?
Coming back in, takes down
Probably
Buzz.
not.
So now a lot of T1 players stuck towards the site.
Just stick on site, use double damage.
Consider pushing out, but right now they know that they have that tripwire watching their back. They try to take
he
a
doesn't
timing,
want
but
to get hit by the
Governor's ready for
Cypher.
it. So now the pinch comes onto the site. Izu and Meteor both getting one each. 2v3. Health solo, but Izu now trying to stay ahead of these. Meteor with a nice little jiggle.
Oh god, it's really bold.
Going to go for
it's
the
really bold.
This gives time for Izu to just back away from the site.
Oh my god, well he's dead though,
Meteor's
right?
gonna come back. They're ready for it. They know that Ban is there. He's been tagged. He's low. The call has come through, and Ban lands the shot, but just
ended up
not
playing
in
time. Dude, Meteor's incredible though. That shot back sight.
Once again, a round for T1, just playing the macro game, playing a lot of these individual moments and fights.
It was easy at the end here, right? He did good to just bait his teammate. He's gonna win from time anyway.
The way that he swung out, got that one tap, sent out the kill contract, calm with his aim. Ban, you know, he was down low HP, still managing to find that final frag as well, but down to it all because of all these efforts out from T1, being able to break down the site that quick.
Yeah,
dude. Not quite able
what
to
a nuts play that is.
You see those kills, those individual fiery power from Talon,
with the Prime. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate you. Thank you.
And it's just such good usage of that Ice Ultimate as well.
Thank you so much.
So much time, because then you still have to wonder where
is
the Prime, Izu, right? Am I waiting for a 1v1 or a 1v2? And you just can't get that DPS.
Okay, raid boss is down.
Once again, 9 HP. This guy just has to survive.
Dude, they do not want to let this guy get out.
There.
Yeah, they really wanted to make sure they traded this.
You don't have great weaponry. You gotta wait for Primi. You have to wait for your Vandal. Cruz just takes a couple pot shots.
Right,
no one's gonna hit this TP.
Initiate that flank to at least allow Primi a little bit more space as well. And once again, it's another round where T1 just breaks apart the entire site because of Meteor on that double tap shield that the ISO provides.
He breaks the shield, so now they're kind of all looking at him. So maybe on side they could go a little bit faster. Especially with Primi, he's the one with that hero gun.
Draw some people out. It's really trying to set up Primi, but he just gets
oh
gunned down by Stacks.
Well, there goes the hero gun.
2 on the board in this round, inching towards that 1000th kill, and that's going to be the call for Cruz to say, I just got to see if I can get some kills elsewhere, but he's been spotted. They're coming for him. Stacks needs just one more, and he will get it. 3 on the board, and now he completes his Huntress Fury as well.
So one-sided at the moment, and they got another combo of ults to use in the big buy rounds.
Kill record as well. There's so much that's going in for T1 right now that you got to imagine some of the future rounds. Talon, they really need to try and slow things down. The C site holds, or even just working against
Meteor Talon on hard work. I would say he's a good mix of both. You watched him 2 years ago, it was never this good.
Talking about their ults, okay, they've got their ultimates to try to tie things together. Of course, your ult with the Huntress Fury, a very well-known combo, and it looks like it's going to be the same plan. Gate crash through.
He was good, but he was never this good.
Go through the dimensions, try to open up some more space. Primi, oh, he's been spotted. Here comes on. Here's Fury.
You got the double damage in there as well. I did. Primi's done good to get one. That's about it, though. But that is a disgusting combo, because normally the Sova ult, normally the Sova ult and the Yoru ult is insane on its own, but then you add the double damage in. Like we are.
He was trying to get ahead of it. He was trying to fill out the site to at least hold off as much as possible. Find one kill and back off or something, even out the odds, right? But Buzz is just so ready for it. Down with that Huntress Fury play as well, and Team 1 already has the round pretty much in their bags. It's 2-on-4, but Talon's still trying. A cage in front of their faces, and they're just going to make a little bit of noise.
I mean, they would love to try to get the round no matter what it takes, but look at the positions. Buzz hiding out in the smoke, making sure he's not spotted up top. Jit Boys gets a cheeky kill, trying to even things, but Stacks evens it right back. Now a 1v3.
Dude, this
impossible. Jit Boys
when you have a night, like when you have a really good ISO,
and
this comp looks so disgusting. Like it looks so good.
No, he's just gonna give it over to Stacks as well. A triple for the captain.
Like we're kind of treated with the ISOs that we watch when people do this. We got Meteor and Alpha. Like it's sick.
Straight for T1, just because of how much they're able to abuse the ISO shield, abuse the ultimates that they've kind of collected up. So many of these rounds where they're able to cycle all of these plays and work their way across the map with so much of it going through. Talon just not quite able to stall and hold them off.
I mean, this is looking like a little deja vu from map 1. Map 2, Talon answered back individually. They were fragging across the board.
Yeah,
right
same
now,
shock to
Primi,
break this trip. Oh, he picks up the trip this time.
Barely at 10 kills himself.
Picks up the trip and
so Talon, they're aware that's going to be heavier
puts it back now.
side. Cruz making sure that there's no rotate coming
and to put it back, then it's just disappeared.
Talon, do they break out of this? Just try to force T1 into a rush. They do. They're going to break it, and T1, they turn their eyes and say, okay, all right, you want to chase us? Let's see if we can fight. No sign just yet. Izu going to be the eyes and ears for T1.
And already such a capable flex player as well for the team. Izu on so many
Dude, look at Izu in spawn. They've been flanking all the time when they go fast sight. What is the timing like on this? Dude, Izu has oh gosh. Stack still got the kill. Dude, Izu swing the side.
They're cautious, but they're marching through, and they just swing right by.
They got nothing for that.
Buzz is going to clear the way as Sylvan jumps
timing
forward through the shadows, from the shadows onto the site, and that will be the plan on the A site.
Oh,
shot.
Not quite aware for Cruz, though. There's going to be the opening shot now. Maybe a chance at working way across. He is still quite aware of a possible gate crash, though. Always looking out for Buzz. Buzz just creeps right around the boxes, gets the first one, but JetBoys makes the quick trade. Now trying to hold inside of the smokes. Stacks and Izu off towards both opposite angles and trying to continue
they're both so low, surely
pull that pressure away.
T1 knows that they're not quite on the spike yet, and Talon knows they had to push out. JetBoys, once again, running out of time. The Cam spots him. He needs to get the kill. Can he jump forward? And he should be good in time.
He's all good.
JetBoys will be securing a third round.
That's their first buy run,
in the half.
Being able to work alongside each other inside of the smokes, calm and collected, marking and noting T1's positioning. JetBoys with that final TP play to get in within range of the spike as well. I mean, just being able to push and pull across the map this time, but T1 with a quick rotation, you know, this Cruz, it was really just Cruz being able to take down that first player against Sylvan.
Yeah, making sure that he holds on to back sight, right? Gets the flash out as well to buy a bit
more time. Is 4 enough? I mean, historically, this comp is way better on attack.
Get to 4. It's doable for Talon. It's not that bad.
It is doable, but again, they're going to need double pistol.
With the attacking side,
they've been winning all the pistols. It kind of depends on if Talon have watched a good amount of this comp, which they should have.
Now T1 trapped outside.
Like make sure their pathing's good over towards A, so they can avoid the shock damage.
They're wary of the push out from A, but they don't see much more. And look at Talon's movement. So they take this chance to push out of C. This way, if need be, A main, they could retreat. You see the drone, you could clear it out. All right, they're gonna set it up for it. But I mean, you broke the cam earlier, so surely T1 is wary of Primi. He gets one. He wants to continue fighting. He wants to be the
incredible.
barrier. There are the knives, close range.
The Silver is incredible.
Missed all of them. Still gets one, almost
he did
gets
damage.
another. But Governor, meanwhile, with a great backup from long range, and Sylvan all alone with only
they got
54 HP. 1v4, knows the Cypher is nearby, but has no clue about anybody else. And Ban will wrap things up, evening things as much as possible at a 4-8 scoreline.
Okay.
Close to it,
this
but
was
still managing to keep themselves in the round.
Yeah, they might feel pretty confident
been, a little bit of that pressure
with 2 at the end.
The cameras, but at the same
feeling
time,
right.
because of these 2 players, Primi alongside Governor, just being able to work in towards it. I mean, Primi is just so crispy with how he's able to move around that. But that just bought enough time for the rest of the team to wrap back around.
It almost feels like his movement was sandbagged the first 2 maps, and now he's just free to fly around. Looks so smooth, as you said, just floating through, making sure
he's got some sick movement on him.
Doesn't matter. Couple of those rounds we saw
mechanics-wise, he's one of the best.
As that Jet, but is it going to be enough? Especially now going on to that attacking side. He's going to have to do a lot more of that, and he's going to have to do it proactively. This is going to be a very, very true test for Primi if he wants to continue to return as that primary duelist. Maybe he can unlock that feeling within him and say, go back to Frost and say, you know what?
Upper bracket? Yeah, this is upper bracket.
That duelist again.
Yeah, he really could be the one to carry
Frost is going in on this.
On his shoulders. However, on the other side, we've seen what this T1 composition can do. The Yoru, the ISO, I mean, especially with Meteor back on
when it goes to Bangkok, no, they'll be 1 game away.
He's found quite a bit with the kill contract, the ISO ultimate. He could definitely do it again. And right now, with that T1 scoreline, you know, so close to it, you gotta imagine just how much Talon are feeling in their hearts at the same time.
See what T1's plans are. A lot of times that we've seen this,
all right,
especially,
let's see it. The pistols at the moment are 4-1.
It's going to be a lot of that A main.
It's a 5-1 would be insanely one-sided, but obviously they kind of need to do it, in my opinion.
Movement of early undercut to make sure that you take space on A main here from T1. Looks like a shock dart maybe used as well.
Okay, but not much found towards A main at least. Trying to get the peek outs against C long though, noting 3 players.
Okay, we got no one. Oh, I was gonna say we've got no one here to get a kill off the trip. But once you see this trip, you know that someone's in garage, because someone should be in garage to try to get a kill off the trip. So.
But there's a 3-man push coming out from B as well. It's going to be a faraway shot from Ban that just forces him back in.
Big Joel at spawn. Oh, Jip Boys, no.
Get that kill against Izu, and this should be a very easy flood back into the site. Spike now being transported over to A, but you just don't have numbers. Ban has to go huge here in mid.
Yeah, might have the positioning, but it's so many targets on the other end, right? Cruz just racing across through the A side to get the spike down.
They like me out there. Yeah, that was a rough one.
At least find, 1, 2, maybe 3 players to make things a little bit easier for Cruz.
And T1 was staying grouped, but now they've separated. Ban can start to find these 1v1s. Izu is low. Oh, he's just unaware.
Devastating, isn't it?
And Izu's able to spam down on the headshots. Cruz gets one, but already chip damage. You do have a flash. You do have that fault line. Cruz, can he find
no
the
pressure, man, but you gotta win it. Yeah, he wanted to try. He was hoping for them to overstep.
Second too. I thought he might have gotten away from it, but then Buzz.
Okay, on this map, 1-1 for the pistols, and that is a 2-4 overall.
The entire round broken apart because of that tiny little movement from T1 or up around the C site, being able to read
devastating
it,
for
also a little bit
devastating for Talon here, and they got plant at least, so they will force.
There's a little bit of nerves coming through at the same time, but just maybe a little bit
force,
of
yeah, for sure.
movement from Izu, and it just kind of throws off his crosshair, Jit Boy's crosshair. Really unfortunate for them.
T1 should know they're gonna force, so Outlaw maybe.
So much to T1 right now.
Yeah.
Where is the Outlaw?
T1, especially coming off that first half.
Okay, they want to go fast garage.
You can see it on there on the scoreboard. Already one timeout used from Talon as well. Outlaw in the hands of Buzz. Meanwhile, a Vandal for
I mean, they spot 2 here. They should feel like garage is free. That is an absolute shot, man.
And the Marshall, a nice headshot, crisp onto Sylvan, and they push through. They don't quite spot
Izu has to kill one.
That's the important part. Meteor comes in, the shield not quite recharging in time, and the Stingers just overflood the site, and Talon will be able to plant the spike.
All right, the unexpected force by Talon trying to mount that resurgence back into the map.
Yeah, and that's the gun that Stacks wanted.
They have the positions, they have the cage, they've picked up those weapons, and they're trying to carry them forward into future rounds. Buzz, though, still trying to find what he can with this Outlaw. Pushes out and manages to take down Ban. Cruz then, though, takes down Stacks, and once again, it's all down to Buzz.
Hey, very nice. Governor hit a great shot to make this one easy.
Pick up the round.
Huge round win here from Talon. They're on their eco.
You still have a game? Oh, it's very much on now.
Now, some people were wondering, why don't other regions buy more Stingers? Well, Talon's here to try to bring it to popularity in Pacific. We've seen it already twice today, and they've used it quite a few other maps as well. And just look at how much force it brings, especially once you're already on the site. That range not really meaning much, and then the weapon upgrades as well.
Yeah, you can kind of understand why as well, right? Trying to pick up that pace, throw T1 off their scent, and close in the distance as they push across the C site. Next round, though, coming up, and because of their full buys now, looking a lot more comfortable and confident.
If a T1 smoke, Recon doesn't get shot.
So they try to negate some of T1's util early on with the flash and their own Recon, force them back so they'd have to use a lot more. Meanwhile, just trying to bait out whatever they can.
He's trying to bait out the Omen flash.
A little bit of a float up, but it's going to be all right as Talon able to just march towards the site. Already there is Buzz, but it's a quick trade. Now 2 members still trying to
Micho's done good to bait.
Site. Talon, they're spread out all
in the
across.
guy in logs. Yeah,
but you're starting
and
to
it
get
worked.
picked apart on C site. You got to make up your mind. Jip Boys has the spike. He's stranded. He needs cover. He needs help. He's not going to be able to win the fight. Governor gets the trade, and
these rounds
eventually stabilizes for Talon.
Oh, it came down close. Jora, you started to feel nervous for
Jip Boys needs some confidence, man. I mean, he's fragging okay, but when I'm on his POV, I don't feel
area
don't
was
feel
still marked by
convinced.
T1 despite just them being on pistols. They were able to rob quite the number of guns away, but because the economy has kind of been flipped around, still the round being picked up by Talon, you know, it's a little bit of reset for both sides. Oh, Autumn.
Okay.
I don't know if I've ever seen Autumn that upset. I mean, you thought you were getting
Buzz
close
gets
to
out the
having a chance, but now,
the AWP.
all right, they do have a chance. That
And
operator now in the hands of Buzz.
I mean, honestly, Talon's money is decent because they won the eco and they got so many guns from it.
They got. It's a quick wraparound.
Drone goes in, doesn't see anyone. Talon, 3 people here ready, and they put the cross map recon.
Can't quite get the information.
Dude, that's a fast lineup for a cross map recon, though. I'll give him that.
Planted into the cubby. That smoke making it
Okay,
seem
a lot of pressure.
trying to mask more
Make them react over towards C. Insta lock up, and we just get a timing on this one. And the timing is.
You haven't cleared the site.
No way. Oh god, this game's gonna be close. This game is gonna be close because how do you retake this with an AWP? And if Cruz gets the plant because he got the AWP, he gets his ult.
And the post plant positions, it's gonna take a little bit of time for T1 to really get within range.
No way he won that Joe.
Could be the biggest factor in this retake. T1 now. Although 3 players are close
It's impossible to retake this. Cruz is under with damage.
Yeah, and the shield's gonna be running out soon enough, but he's gonna get the refresh.
Did he not
gives
just
him a
really
win.
mess up?
Paranoia to make room once again. Counter paranoia to make sure they shut down the ISO. He's gone, and that should be the retake shut down. And I was going to mention this T1 composition. You've got so many old core Vision Strikers and DRX members, but this comp, it's not really about the fancy retakes, especially if you don't have the Sova, right? It's really just about, okay, we're gonna push through with the ISO like we did on the attack, try to get those.
Why? Oh no, he really messed up, chat, but it's so good.
Especially if one member
they didn't.
Things are gonna start
if Meteor won
really was the
over towards site,
then
in
this round, I mean, with
it
the
would
way
have been
that they were
horrendous.
able to kind of pull and push across the map, right? A little bit of early pressure on towards C with that smoke and Primi as well. But then, you know, that does leave Ban, you know, leaves actually Stacks all the way alone on the A side. I think Ban was actually the one who was close enough to hear that gate crash away from Buzz in towards the C side.
2 people have a low buy. 3 people save guns.
So that round alone, showcasing Talon's understanding of how this Yoru wants to play, especially if
so
there's
many
an
people play
site,
solo A, just trying to find info.
Do we hear any Yoru util being used on the other side? Do we hear them maybe trying to push out? And that way we can get information.
You're not meant to like hold it. You're meant to get enough info that people can rotate in time to help you.
And then they start to push pressure on the other side. So it calls for
it's not ideal, honestly.
As they review everything that's happened in the past.
You gotta kind of do it with the map if you don't go aggro.
Alongside Autumn. Meanwhile, it's gonna be Jovi once again, sharing everything they've noted down the previous couple rounds as Talon tries to catch up 2 points apart. Anybody's game so far.
Yeah, still really close, right? Also catching a little glimpse of that 100-page report on Frost's test right there. But at the same time, yes, 2 rounds away from possibly, you know, really tying things up and turning the game around, because there is still a chance for T1 to get knocked down into the lower bracket right now, especially with Talon starting things
they managed
off
to get an okay buy. Dude, Talon's money's incredible right now. Like, they're in a really... Imagine they win this, and this goes down to an eco. They're in control, heavily in control. It's theirs to lose.
The AWP peeks out. Talon, they're waiting for it. Is an aggressive push out of Garage? If it's
Meteor
not,
has his ult.
On either side.
We got Buzz. If he gets a kill, gets his ult.
Now not hearing anything though. Buzz continuing to hold his angle. Meanwhile, Ban already snuck in towards B.
Well, that's a good point. I'm not sure I'm meant to have that.
So normally the Yoru would be the one to go for those fast rotates, but T1, they switch things up this time. They're just gonna make sure that that gate crash is used up. He still has an exit with that second one, and everyone else already shifting their weight. They trust in that operator. It has to be fired off to make sure that he's not getting caught off guard, and he's now gonna have to relocate.
Yeah, there's a small timing where they could have pushed him off though.
And Talon still masking all information. T1
see what
is blind
Sylvan's
on this
got.
side of the map. The smoke finally giving them an inkling.
It'd be interesting to see what Ban can get from his luck as well.
Going to be full charge onto the site.
Sylvan Flash is decent. ISO ult hits one.
To break apart the entry.
Oh, and there it is. Gets that one-on-one against Cruz.
Someone's got to send it.
With the flash delaying as much as possible as well.
Yeah,
Talon tries to push past the smokes, but Meteor
it's
continues to try
they got
and
so
Sylvan off to the other side of the smoke as well. And Izu comes back into support, managing to take
it's a
down
shame
the
Ban did really good on his luck. It's still doable.
Ban out from the back, who managed to look all the way through B, but it's a 1-on-2. Takes down Izu with a bit of a crowd spray.
Well, he knows where he is.
The spike is down C long. Buzz 1v1, and not a lot of time for Ban. He's trying to go in for the fights, needing to get the kill, but
very, very nice. Dude, Talon got so unlucky that Cruz was hit by the... Cruz was hit by the ISO ult. Like, that's who they needed to flash through to take back a site here.
No shots, and he tries to go.
He messed up the KJ, dude.
But Buzz is good for that shot, and it all starts with that kill contract. Just cuts off Cruz's support, and then they're stranded. They can't quite clear backside. Primi knows he has to start pushing out. Tries to inch closer with the Cloudburst, but Meteor's ahead of it. He's actually just holding down as a fortress.
The good news for Talon is their money's incredible, and they got 4 kills. So these 4 can't buy next if they lose. Dude, they're in an incredible position right now. They gotta win this one. Force them down to an eco. Everyone's gonna be wanting to use their ults onto this round.
Try to wrap up this match, 2-1 scoreline.
Buzz has done a really good job at getting full A control with stacks. That Omen flash was great over towards him. Yeah, they gotta push this guy off over towards A at the moment. Good luck.
So 2 members still stuck in garage.
And they don't have drone because they used it on garage.
A rotate happens on a timing, and there it is. T1 starting to spread back apart.
Buzz?
Using that drone. Doesn't look like it's
okay. It's a nice smoke. So he has a TP out, so he can take the shot and get out of there. Oh, that's kind of incredible. 1, 2, 3, 4. Does he go site to help his team or what? Ban's lurking on everyone. Buzz has gone for a mental play. Buzz, what is that?
Ban now holds control in the middle of the map.
A little bit of an unfortunate timing for Buzz, and there it is, Ban with a swing out against Stacks. That's more numbers being thinned away from the T1 forces, and Talon will be able to flood in towards the C side. It's just Sylvan here, hiding inside of the smoke, trying to find this opportunity. Primi has kind of gotten ahead of him, but Sylvan sneaks off to the other sides. Looks for the timing to find a couple of multi-kills now, 2 going back
no way. Dude's got to do it all.
Alive. Unfortunately, his teammates
holy hell, what the hell is this round? Man. Okay, but Talon get the win still. Talon get the win. They have to eco. This is gonna be so close.
We've seen it in some other matches in Pacific.
And they didn't have to use any ults.
You are dead. There's nothing you can
Dude, give me this Buzz cam. What did he do?
Yeah.
Did he just forget that he doesn't have a TP? No way. Bro saw 4 and went for the shorty play.
Holding true in the middle of the map, and meanwhile Buzz getting shut down as he tries to jump out of his own ultimate. Bit of a misfortune here for T1 as this was still another heavy investment.
Yellow card, bro. That's a straight up red card, is it not? That's crazy. Like honestly, is that not just absolutely mental? I think his TP was down, wasn't it? Dude, I'll give a red card for that, chat. That was criminal. That was absolutely criminal. I'm pretty sure his TP was down. I can't believe he sees 4 and goes for that. Dude, he has an op.
Yeah, so Talon, they go for the triple.
He has no TPs? Well, then don't go for that.
More into Cubby as well. Once the defensive smoke comes out, you know, okay, T1's blind on this side of the map. Now we can work the other. Now they start to pressure onto the
If you had no TP, just you've seen the 4 go towards long, go short. You got an op. You can just hold this angle. Go over towards here. You're fine. The Cypher got to kill a middle. He knows where all 5 are.
T1 to really adjust because we're starting to see Stacks again alone on towards the A site, but okay, Buzz.
Oh boy.
Back into the off angle. Meteor to try to pull the attention away. Buzz will be able to land the shot.
And he gets out as well. Meteor, meanwhile, quickly refills the middle of the site. So
but they insta-reclid over towards B. Are you going to stick this? Oh, dude, you might have given him a gun, though. I'm so nervous.
That's a weapon given over. Stacks now on the site.
Oh, God. And they killed Jit Boys in spawn, and he gifted them a gun.
2v4. Numbers not in favor of Talon from the shadows just to try to buy time. It takes him off the plan. Primi gets spotted. Doesn't quite see the headline over by the window. Now they're going to be wary if a gate crash comes down. Do they get faked out by Governor? Wants to get ahead of it. He wants to get out of the flash.
Oh, God.
The half flash to Primi
no, it's such a bad round to lose, man. Oh my goodness, Frost must be going crazy.
T1 managed to complete it, completing the thrifty 11-8 against Talon. Just finding those movements. Stacks with a kill to delay and hold off the A site. Even though it was just one, it bought enough time. Buzz with the Vandal pickup as well. Just with the off angle, this time noting a lot of Ban's movements across the map. Just so much of the reads coming up from T1 right now.
Yeah, and just the teamwork as well. making sure now they're starting to get the read on that lurk. They know that Ban has really been hitting that B site non-stop.
Oh man.
And it's going to be Frost and Jovi, the coaches of Talon.
I feel like Jitboys is on like four yellow cards at the moment. He's been sent off twice.
T1 2 steps away from getting to the upper finals, where you will only have one more best of 3 before you're qualified for Masters BanCon.
Only one more best of 3. That's what it means for T1. Talon really trying to turn things around. You can see how much Frost is really trying to get involved with this, because their current game
Frost is
plan
mad, dude. Yeah,
by
dude, look at what they're doing. Like so many people are going for crazy plays.
Well.
They don't have to go for the crazy plays.
It's just
yeah, I mean, even Buzz has been joining in with some of them.
They're going to have to change things up a little bit, you know. They've managed to kind of suss out a lot of Buzz's early movements, maybe a little bit of Stacks as well, but if they're then able to find some kind of
red card for Jitboys, I should have given Jitboys 3 yellows already, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, Talon,
we're playing catch up, so I mean, we straight read him.
That Talon's always going to be
we gave him warnings.
A step behind in terms of tempo, because they're still waiting for Ban to take that position. Now it's going to be an all-out brawl towards that A side, but T1, they don't want to even give a chance. They are going to chase through. Thunder Fury gets 1 tag.
Yeah, everyone's out of there. Instant reaction though, and I like this. They took a lot of map control as they're running out of there, so they're so far away that they wouldn't hit the TP from the Omen. So the Omen can look down here, and you would imagine he gets at least 1 if they push back.
So even though Talon has kind of made the right call or read to push themselves close towards
B,
C, nothing found just yet.
Yeah, because they didn't have info over towards B. Wait,
Oh,
that was lovely though. How are you meant to deal with that? Hello? Don't get too greedy. Wait, nice. Nice.
It's the double kill. Spike dropped. And
oh, it's devastating for Talon, man. It's such a brutal game to lose.
Against 4 members of T1, all at full health.
It is Governor and Primi though. It's a 2-on-4, but it's the 2 hardest hitting players on the side of Talon with 40 seconds to work around. They might be able to sneak into the C side to get the spike down. Can they
He's the one that tanked the first
against 4 incoming players on a retake?
I mean, Primi just needs to get kills, right? Sure, you have the Hunter Shuri, but in a 2v4, you're not relying on that to secure the post plant. You notice that there's a tripwire watching that entrance. You try to clear out C main, nobody there. So Primi looking for more kills. He tries to find one. He gets taken down by Izu.
He has to try and make a play though. It's not like it's wrong from him.
He has to take it to T1. But can he find the timing? He's already been noted that he's close by, and there's the contingency. Only good
nicely
for
done from T1. They're gonna have 4 chances to close this out.
T1 will knock on the doors to that upper finals.
Oh, this could have been so much closer.
It
could have been so much closer.
Just that tough for Governor. No, I mean, no chance you use that Hunter Sphere in the 1-on-4, right? So it's just a tough spot to be in, but there it is. That's map and series point for T1. Just being able to work across the map that way.
This was just great, waiting for Izu as Buzz just tries to get more space, but really,
this was cool though from T1.
So early on, and
that TP once everyone's running out of there to dodge the servo. They push 2 people to try and capitalize off of everyone dodging it, and when they realize that everyone's like got out of the range as well, they're TPing up there, no one's close to hear it. Like that's awesome though. I do like that.
A huge wrench into their game plan, where now Talon just desperately coming in with the Guardians, trying their best to fight back and live for another day.
Double damage into, I mean, he's dead.
Oh. They don't get the second ping onto him. He dodges
all
of them. Full health.
Did he dodge the stun as well?
You've already pushed window as well as T1.
I mean, that's normally a perma kill, chat. I don't know what went wrong there.
You will have to battle your way out of this if you want a chance to continue as that first team to Bangkok. Ban gives an opening. A little bit of breathing room for the Thai squad.
Does he expect another, though? Izu is on a bit of that lurk as well.
Yeah, Izu might have owned this because this is a spike.
That makes things a little bit better, too, but here comes Izu, spiked down, and he's managing to get hit by the flash. So a little bit better as Jitboys comes in with that support, and Primi taking down Izu as well.
Yeah, 4v2, now things have flipped. Talon surely feeling a bit more comfortable. You've got that trip watching your back as well. You can jump over this one. So Sylvan gonna land it safely. Neither of them heard. Oh, I would be a little worried if you're a Talon fan right now.
They'll start considering it.
I don't know if they quite expect it. Ban, he knows that it's a possibility. You see the pings on C main as well. Now everybody's watching the angles they need to try to secure this round.
Yeah, they have the numbers, so even though they weren't quite looking the right angles at that moment, they're still fully aware on where T1 could possibly be. Governor marking in towards Garage. Does spot out Stax, but Stax takes the fight. Up from behind, though, Ben sneaking a little bit through. Will be able to take down Stax, and there it is.
Very
Boys
nice
against
from them.
Sylvan.
Very
Talon
nice.
will live
They messed
for
up
another
the
round.
Silver drone
3
tag
more
into
chances for
stun into
T1
Silver
to try to
ult,
close
but
things out.
they got a little bit
Trying to
lucky. The
really
Buzz was
lead the
maybe a
charge
little bit
towards
over
Masters
eager.
Bangkok, as we await to see
4
still
chances
who
down
would
to
be the
3
first
for
team from
T1.
East Pacific to qualify to an international
Dude, that
stage
looked really dumb.
2025.
That looked really
Great
dumb.
shots from Talon this time. Much calmer,
I didn't realize
not
he
rushing
walked
in
into
and
the
just
angle.
covering each other's backs. We'll see if that can continue for 3
This is an
more
off angle
rounds.
though, I guess, so
You
can't be too
certainly
mad.
need it. Talon doing a little bit better this time, especially with how Ban was able to take down Buzz towards the back. That's what gave them that extra lifeline.
What are we going for?
So
Orb
trying
or
to
we
keep
hitting
that up,
sight?
but look at how
Oh, we're
T1 are
hitting
trying to
sight.
control the map right now.
Yeah, Izu just trying to be the bait,
Nice shot.
and it works.
Really
Buzz
nice.
lands the shot onto Cruz. That's the breach down. The
Izu
Yoru's out.
cage.
Backside still in control by T1. Back up, not quite
Oh,
here yet.
God.
But there's a kill contract. We'll see if Meteor can
Primi
win
has
this
to
fight
win
against
this.
Primi. Primi versus Meteor. Meteor wins and shuts
Dude,
down the
Meteor hasn't
Jet.
lost an ISO ult, by the way.
Has filled the site,
He's
and all
insta
hope is
popping people in this
dwindling.
ult.
Jet Boy's fighting for his life, trying to fake them out. All the mind games thrown, but undercut. It's everything.
Okay,
and
very,
Meteor
very
will
nice.
once again prove
T1
why he has
takeover,
joined
dude, it
the
could have been
T1
closer.
squad.
It really could have been closer.
Meteor,
Oh, they're giving it.
Just truly the extinction level event that
Oh, they're
will
actually
lead
giving
the
it as well,
charge for
respect.
T1. Down as the ISO, leading the charge on the attack.
Yeah,
Meteor
won every ult. Yeah, he might have had 5. It is at least 4. I think Meteor won 5 out of 5. Oh, okay, then yeah. Then he won 5 out of 5.
What a showing from Meteor and